I want to talk to you today about having rest as part of your overall strategy in business and life. And I want to talk to you about that today because it was something that I got very, very wrong when I first started out self-employed, which was now 16 years ago, July 2010. And I did not listen to any of my coaches who said, build the life that you want, know the days that you want to work and the schedule that you want to work, and then block the rest of the time off to work on your business, to have rest, have time for yourself. And I didn't listen to them. I was like, well, I love what I do, so therefore I am never working another day in my life, which is true. I love what I do, and I don't feel like I'm working when I'm working. But the thing is, you are working even when you love what it is that you do. And it's, I think, even more difficult for those of us who are in the well-being industry or the creative industry because it feels like play that we're doing. When we're working in our business and on our business, it all just feels like play. But the thing is, it's not, because it is your business. It is your work. And if that's all you think about all day long from morning to night, then you're never given that part of your brain, that part of your nervous system, a rest. If you run your car all the time just on the petrol, never check the oil, never check the tyres, never check the electrics, don't put it in for its MOT and its service, your car's going to pack in if it's only relying on that one fuel source. The battery will eventually die, it will burn out, and it needs to be replaced. But the thing is, in your human body, I was going to say nothing can be replaced. That's not actually true, because you can have new legs and new arms and new hearts. You can have new organs put in, but it's a big ordeal. It's a very, very big ordeal to have surgery, to have something new put in. So if you can then strategize rest for you, then you're going to get so much more benefit. I have written notes, so please forgive me if you're watching this and going, why does she keep looking down? But this is just something that's so important, and I didn't want to go off on one of my ranty tangents and then miss really key important points. And I have spoken about this before, but I'm going to repeat it again. What rest looks like to you is going to be different to somebody else. So for one person, rest can be going to a rave and dancing and listening to the music and having a blast. And for somebody else, rest is going for a walk in a forest. For somebody else, rest is lying down and reading a book. It's important to know for you, and this will take practice, especially if you have lived and breathed your work for a long period of time. It's important to play around and find what works for you and practice at it. When I first started introducing down weeks into my schedule, which was only in 2020, it was 10 years that I went without, I had holidays to Ibiza, weren't proper breaks because I was partying hard. But yeah, I went 10 years where I worked 7 days a week. And I wasn't working like 9 to 5, 7 days a week. I'd be working from 7 in the morning till sometimes 9 o'clock at night. Some days I'd be working from 10 till 12. But it was work every single day. There was no proper downtime. I wasn't getting good nights of sleep. I wasn't getting good nights of rest. So when it got to 2020 and I'm in trying to switch off, it took me a couple of years of regular downtime before I got to the point where I was like, oh, I'm on my even my day off now. It's only been in this last year that I've gone, right, I'm on my day off. I'm not taking that phone out with me that's got all my social media and all the bits and pieces on it. I'm going to go out with Chris. I'm going to go to my mum's. I'm going to go and do whatever it is I'm going to do and not think about it. Now, sometimes thoughts will pop into your head, which is where it's good to have some form of note taker, because it's quite often when we're in these really restful places that we get our ideas, we get our new ideas, we get clarification, we get spontaneous, oh my God, this is what I could do in my business. You don't get those when you're always working, when you're always in that. It's those moments when you stop thinking, that your brain is able to recalibrate, restore, reorganize, clear away the nonsense to go, here's the genius idea, and bring it forward to you. So it's important for you to then find out, what does rest look like and feel like to you? What do you enjoy doing that's not your work? And it can be something similar. So I know a lot of people who are like graphic designers and people who work creatively. So how can you do, and you love creating things and love doing pictures of people who work in the wellness industry, and you love yoga and meditation, and what can you do that's similar, that you're not guiding, that you're not leading? So maybe you go to an art class, maybe you go to somebody else's meditation group or class or workshop, so that it's not you that's being the energy behind it. You're being the energy, who you're in that energy of receiving. And as I say, it will take a little bit of practice to get there. Another thing that's important is you might book a holiday, but then spend a couple of hours every day doing work. You're not then properly on holiday. You're missing out on the opportunity of being in a new location, having new experiences, which again, these will all open you up. These will all recharge your nervous system. They will help nourish you so that you can be better at your job. You can be more present in your job when you're being there. If you're stepping away from the family to go and do some emails to send stuff out rather than spending time with them, what message is that you're sending? And also, what example are you setting for the future? Like, if you, again, you love what you do and you get dead excited about it, no, I just want to do this, but this is more important than me. This is more important than you. It's difficult. I know that it's difficult. I have been on this adventure of learning to just let go a little bit. And it's not completely walking away from it. You know, if you're going on holiday, pre-schedule your social media posts so that the stuff's still going out, the stuff's still doing its touchy-feely, whatever it is it needs to do. The emails are all pre-scheduled. You have somebody, or you have some out of office response that says, I'm not going to be, I'm on holiday for these dates, but here's something else that you can go and check in my absence, or have somebody that looks after your emails while you're away if there are things that are life and day. Nothing I do is life and day. Nothing that I do is life and day. So if an email doesn't get answered for a few days, it'll get answered when it comes back. And that can be really difficult to come to terms with, to accept, to whatever. But if you pre-schedule, so right now, this is July 2026, I've already put in my downtime for the start of 2027. I'm already thinking about that, planning that ahead. So therefore, I will then plan my events, my other stuff that's going on around that. For example, in April, I have my retreat. I'm going to take I've got my retreat from the Friday to the Monday. I'm going to take the Monday to the Friday then as my downtime, because I'll have done everything I need to do in preparation for that retreat, so I can take the time off rather than putting the time off in the week before so that I'm rested up to that, because there'll be stuff that needs to be done. Then the same for Solace. I'll be working hopefully at Solace again next year. I was this year. I have the time at Solace and then the time off, or have the time off and then have Solace, depending on what it is that needs done in and around that. But can you plan for that, and how does it fit in around other holidays? So I always avoid school holidays. So my April holiday comes, I know that the schools are off the first 2 weeks in April. I'm not taking my time off there. I know that the schools in Scotland break up at the end of June. I'm not taking my time off then. I'm going to slot my time in around that. It's pre-planning it, putting it in the diary, making sure that it happens, and then organising yourself in the lead up to that, so that you don't go, oh shit, I've got this event happening and I need to get in there, or I'm running this challenge and I need to be in there on my days off and on my holidays. I'm not a planner by nature. I have had to learn that by planning and scheduling, it gives me more freedom, it gives me more time, it gives me more space. And that's what everything, when I look at my values, really important to do. It's, I wrote about this in my book, 9 Rules to Sort Your Shit, which is 10 years old this year. In that book, we talk about values, and it's what are your life values, what are your career values, what are your relationship values, what are your money values. And if you know your values in all of those areas, do any of them conflict with each other? Values can change. Um, so if your relationship values are trust, honesty, presence, and your business values are about freedom and success and authority, where do they gel with each other? Where do they clash with each other? How are you living by your values so that they're being met in the different areas? So it's really important that we acknowledge our values and how they fit in with each other, and then how we structure our business around that instead of always being the hamster wheel, go, 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 go. Your nervous system, and again, I talk about this a lot, but it's always worth repeating. When our nervous system, particularly autonomic nervous system, is your fight and flight, your sympathetic, fight and fight, but it's also your action, your get shit done. Your parasympathetic is your rest and digest. It's also your heal. It can also be your inability to take action. And it's important that we have a dance between the two of them. One is not better than the other. They are both vitally important. So how can we get out of that being switched on all the time, even though we're loving it, even though we're feeling valued and needed and wanted, and we have this authority and we are special because we're in this heightened state, this aroused state, as some people would call it. When we get into that calm state, that's where the play happens. Now you can be playful and be in parasympathetic. You can also be playful and be unsympathetic if you're very, oh, what's that word? Why has it escaped my brain? Ah, competitive. My goodness, I lost that word. Um, but when we're in that playfulness, parasympathetic, that's where the clarity and the ideas come from. So being able to have this lovely little dance between the two of them. We don't need to take action on everything immediately. So this is where your note taker, whether it's a pen and paper, whether it's an app on your phone, when you get those ideas and you're like, oh, that's brilliant, take a note of it, write it down, put it in your note taker, and then leave it. Because that idea might be great and it might be the best thing ever. It'll still be there and it'll still be valuable in 24 hours and 48 hours after you've had your resting time. You don't need to go, oh my God, let's set up the website, let's get it all done right in this very second. Because when we take action like that, sometimes it can be the best decision in the world. And then other times we're like, oh, I should have gone a bit more slowly into that, should have taken my time going into that. Now I've got to go back and rework it and restructure it all. Being able to just take that pause, know that you don't have to take that action right now, even though you're super excited about it. And even though that's how you've always done things in the past. Where is that rest gonna be weaved in? Also taking into consideration everything that's going on in your life. So if you have got life challenges, maybe you're dealing with health stuff, maybe you're dealing with kids, moving house, changing your career around, or somebody is changing job, maybe you've got sick parents that you've got to look after. All of these things are working your nervous system, they're working your energy. When all that's going on, you're going to need to factor in even more recovery time. So important, because one of my clients recently, I'd messaged her to see how she was doing, and her response was, I don't know how I'm still alive. My burnout has burned out. Just going, or no, I won't give any information about what she was going through. She was going through a lot. A lot. There was so many plates, and also there was a job on top of that, as well as everything that was going on in personal and family life. She then made time to come to me just for an hour to lie in bed. And allow me to hold space for her. And these things that we do that are for ourselves, our nervous system thanks us for it. Our reticular, is that the right word? The thing where you recognise things all the time. You know, when you go, oh, I'm buying a red car, and then all you see is red cars. Reticular? Doesn't matter. You know what I mean. That gets activated, so then you're looking for the other things that help you feel when you go, oh my god, I feel so much better. You then start looking for the other things that you that you feed into. Oh, I want to feel that way again. I want to feel that way again, and then they start to become more of a habit. And it's slow, and it takes time, and it takes intention, and it takes practice. But believe me, it's so worth it. I used to get to points where I would be like, oh my god, can't be arsed, I'm so tired. And you'd just be going through the motions, and you weren't putting the proper energy into it. You weren't putting the enthusiasm that you actually have for your job, because it then starts to feel like a chore, especially when your nervous system is going, I'm so tired, I need you to lie down for 5 more minutes. And actually, I need you to lie down for 10, 20, 30. So it's, can you just take a pause, whatever that looks like for you. How do you schedule it in? How do you strategize it into life? Not always easy, but it's definitely worth it. Yeah. The other thing that the other outside of the nervous system that's happening in the brain, I'm glad I wrote some notes down here, is the dopamine that gets released. So that when you feel validated because somebody loves something that you've done, they're appreciative of your work, you're like, oh yes, look how good I am. You get a dopamine hit from that. That makes you feel good. That makes you feel validated. And then you start chasing that. It's like when you're on social media and you're scrolling and you're scrolling and you see something, oh, that makes you laugh, or oh, that makes you angry. And then you scroll again, just hoping that you get that other wee hit of joy. But that dopamine isn't meant to be there all the time and last forever. It's meant to happen when good things happen. So you also get those dopamine hits less intensely. And that's the problem when you get all these intense dopamine hits, you're chasing it. You're chasing it. Oh, I need to get that. I need to feel that good again. I need to feel that high again. I need to feel that validated again, that valuable, that whatever it is that you're telling yourself. But when it's that slow sense of achievement, when it's the, oh, I've just spent some quality time with people that I love spending time with, and that has been amazing. That concert was great, that holiday was great, that day out was great, that whatever your experience was just great. That slow, sustained dopamine is much, much better than that instant gratification. Right, I've already spoken about values, so that's good. I have these things. We have already spoken about all of that. Brilliant, brilliant. Oh, I've written my notes and I have managed to talk about them without having to refer to them so much. You may or may not know, I offer reset and recalibration 90-minute, 3-hour treatments at my home here in Springburn in the north of Glasgow. These kind of sessions are designed for busy women, business owners, women who feel like they are on the edge of burnout or that their burnout has burned out. And they are all about, you don't have to make any decisions before you come about what kind of treatment you're going to get. I offer lymphatic drainage, menopause massage, relaxing massage, fascia work, movement therapy, Reiki drumming, sound healing. You just need to come and tell me what's going on, and I will suggest things with your agreement. We will go ahead. You don't have to go, oh, I think this one is the one that I need, or I think that one is. You just turn up and I can do that for you. Because that's one less decision that you have to make. You can just hand over that responsibility to somebody else. Obviously, finances and time management are hugely important, or being able to commit to these kind of things. I have several clients who have booked for the year ahead. Some of them come quarterly, some of them come every other month, some of them come monthly. They pay in different ways. Some people are paying it monthly and then coming bi-monthly, so it means that they've already paid for their treatment by the time they come, and they don't need to worry about, oh, I need to get that cash out, or I need to make this payment transit. It's already done. It's all set up. They just show up, they come for the treatment, they leave again. Best decision they've ever made. Some people have paid for the whole lot up front. Some people pay for it on the day. Depends how your finances work. Depends what works better for you. But they're really about setting that intentional time aside where you just get to exhale and release whatever it is that you need to release. So many of my clients, when they walk in, they just go, oh, can breathe now. This is where I come to just take that breath, to just release. Now, you might not live in Glasgow. I might not be close enough to you. I might not be in your price range or your location range. I might not be the person that you want to come and work with, and that's absolutely fine. It doesn't need to be me, it just needs to be someone or something. So if you are puffing and puffing, ready to blow the house down, I'll just need to get this next task done, and then I'll take a rest. If that's the story that you're telling with you, I want you to take a pause, look at your diary. Where have you got gaps right now? And it might be in 2 months' time. Book your appointment now for then, and then it's in the diary, and you're not going to fill that spot. If you wait until you have time, you will never have time. That is just a fact. There's a theory that if you give somebody half an hour to do a job, they'll get that job done in half an hour. If you give them 4 hours to do it, it'll take them 4 hours to do it. This is a similar sort of thing. If you wait until you've got time in your diary, you're never going to make or find that time in your diary. So I do please encourage you to do it. And in the meantime, you can download my free lymphatic drainage self-care treatment, which you just very gently work on yourself. You can do it any time of day. You can be doing it while you're doing other things. I always start mine in the shower and then do the rest of mine as my end of day, getting ready for bed treatment. You can download that. The link for that's in the show notes. If you want to speak to me about getting booked in, the details are all in the show notes. I am Jen Wilson, the Healing Rebel. Thank you so much for being here. If what I have talked about today has felt useful and you want to hear more from me, then please do make sure that you follow, you like, subscribe, whatever it is you do, whichever platform that you're tuning in. If you've listened to this and thought, oh my God, I know somebody that needs this, then please do share this episode with them as well. Any questions, any comments, please do drop them in. I do love to hear from you. And otherwise, I will see you on the next episode.